We are part of the Fired Up Sports Network of shows. Please check out other Fired Up Sports Network podcasts like the P-Lot Pod, Water Cooler Talk, Bell Smashers, Philly Sports Love and Pain, Drunk on Broad, Beer Battered Sports, and the Fired Up Sports Show, which are available on all major podcasting hosting sites and social media. Also, check out Mark Ramos' Roundup on firedupsports.com, which breaks down the happenings going on with all your favorite local teams.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
E-A-G-L-E-S,
Swinging a miss, struck him out. The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Flyers are going to win the Stanley Cup. The Flyers win the Stanley Cup. For the lead. Yes! Iverson, wow, what a fake off Daniels as he broke his ankles and got all the way to the cup.
Super Bowl!
Oh, today
It's
is the
Super
day.
Bowl Sunday.
Today is the day, boys. Today is the day we destroy the Chiefs' kingdom. We bring them down on the wings of the majestic eagle, just flying
We've made it.
high, baby. Let's go. I'm fucking excited. I can't wait.
Yeah. Listen, Rich and I were just talking backstage. Like this last 2 weeks, it's felt like a month and a half. That just anticipation of waiting for it to get here, and at some point you gotta I take Rich's advice and say you stop listening to everybody. You turn your eyeballs on, you watch the game, and you just look at it for what it is. And this Birds team feels like it could not be more ready to go. Seems like it's a strictly business trip.
Mhm.
I mean, and listen, we're going to break down as much of this game as we possibly can, but doesn't get better than your team in the big game on the biggest stage with all the lights shining bright.
No.
It's just it's a fantastic time to be a Birds fan, and right, and we're going to get 3 trips to the Super Bowl and not that big of a stretch of time, man. It's a great time to be a Birds fan, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's just I just can't wait. Like I'm just looking forward to today. We were talking, and it sucks that the game's at 6:30. Like I wish the Super Bowl was 1:00. And they just played like, all right, we're going to play for a half hour, take a half hour break, play for an hour, take another half hour break, like stretch it all day long. Like let's just get this going. But yeah. I've been pretty much checked out, of the analyst world and the TV world, and not really wanting to hear other people's opinions because we watch it every day. It's easy for, a guy on ESPN who gets paid to break it down and find the bad things and to nitpick and be like, well, this is what's going on, and here's where the Eagles are come up short. Oh, Jalen Hurts can't do this. Did you watch last week's game? Because I did. I mean, we all watched the Washington game where he made some incredible throws. He looked great in the pocket. Okay, he had, one passing touchdown? But they scored 7 times on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't an issue where it's Jalen Hurts, it's Jalen Hurts, it's Jalen Hurts. No, this is an Eagles team that is the closest to complete that we've seen pretty much in my lifetime. We had our Super Bowl team in 2017 beating Tom Brady. Nick Foles, your boy, you got him on your back. Yeah, that was an amazing hell of a season where everything lined up. Everything lined up perfectly with the Aaron Rodgers injury, and things fell into place. This Eagles team had to earn it. We had to run through the playoffs, which we did. Get home field throughout, after Detroit chokes. Detroit was in a bad position with losing their whole defense.
Mm-hmm.
We had to do what we had to do on the field, and we didn't do it by winning 1-score games or a controversial call or having to come up with a huge stop on third down. No, we did it by beating the fuck out of every team that we played. We did it on the back of Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts and this defense and Dallas Goedert and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. It was an everybody. It was a game where everyone contributed. So
Rich, to quote the famous Jason Kelsey, it was the whole team.
the whole team. It was the whole team. They
Just
said
was.
Lane can't stay off of steroids. He's still the man. He's still the man. I just, I'm looking at this team and I'm seeing a complete football team. Defense wins championships. The
Yeah.
Chiefs haven't played a defense like this at all season. I mean, we
Right.
are the best defense in the league, and we've shown that throughout the season for a fucking reason. Jalen Carter is a fucking monster.
Yep.
Zach Bowen's going to be pissed as a motherfucker that he didn't win Defensive Player of the Year as I would. Saquon Barkley,
Fourth place.
fourth place. Fucking
Outrageous.
If his
Chip on
name
his
was
shoulder.
if his name was fucking Fred Warner, if his name was Luke Kuechly or Patrick Willis, they would have fucking been lining up to give him the trophy.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what happens when you got a guy who was a special teamer for his whole career and he comes in and he makes such an impact.
Yeah.
I'm ready. And I'm ready to see all our guys with chips on their shoulder. Quinyon Mitchell, the best fucking corner at his position. Yeah, Patrick Surtain wins Defensive Player of the Year. Had an amazing year. Jared Verse wins fucking Defensive Rookie of the Year. You see Quinyon's done to number ones? If that was Sauce Gardner, Sauce would have won.
Sauce would have won.
Correct.
Sauce would have won. So
Popularity.
walking with this fucking chip on our shoulder and let's get this fucking thing going.
Yeah, and Rich, I would argue with you that they haven't played an offense like this all season.
No.
Like their defense has not where the KC offense has not faced a defense like this team.
Yeah.
Their defense has not faced an offense like this.
Nope.
Like when you look at the teams that Kansas City played on their way to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right. They faced what was left of a Texans team, and then a Buffalo team that doesn't really have an identity either way.
Yeah.
Right. They don't have any wide receivers. They had a ton of success running the ball and then went away from it. This offense is not going to do that. This team is going to do what it's done all year long.
All year
and just lean on its strengths and be able to take advantage of spots where they have clear advantages. Like when I look at and it's hard to match. It's not that hard when you match up position groups against who they're going to go up against, right? Like you're not matching the offensive line of the Eagles and the offensive line of the Chiefs. Like when you match up their O-line and D-line as a collective.
Yeah.
As great of a player as Chris Jones is, as a unit, they give up a lot of rush yards.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, this team, that if that is a defect in this Kansas City defense, it's the worst possible matchup because you're matching up against probably the Eagles' biggest strength on offense, which is their offensive line as a collective. When you look at Lane Johnson and Mekhi Becton and Cam Jurgens, right? And you look at Landon Dickerson and you look at Jordan Mailata. Like those dudes have been moving and creating space. And we've been saying it all year long. Crowd the box. Good luck, right? Let guys hang back. Good luck. Like you pick your poison. We've been saying it all year long, right? Like you want to leave. I'm going to give you some stats. You want to leave A.J. Brown in single coverage, right? He's got 156 receptions. He's got 2,764 yards. And this is since 2022. 24 touchdowns, 70 explosive receptions. First in all of those categories. You want to leave him one-on-one? Good luck.
Yeah.
Right? You want to crowd the box and let Saquon Barkley make one move and get to the second level and have to beat one guy? Good luck. He's been doing it all year long.
All year.
And I just heard someone talking about this, and it when they said it, it made so much sense. Saquon Barkley has done nothing but sacrifice all year long to get to this spot, and given up rushing titles and greatest season ever titles and rushing yards, right? In rushing yards in playoff games, and he's still about to break this record for most combined yards. It seems only prophetic that he's the guy at the end of the game with the ball in his hand, controlling the ball and leading this team to victory. That's one that when I heard it, I'm like, that to me is the one thing that resonated so much, is that's the essence of this team. They've all sacrificed for the collective. I don't know. I feel it, and I feel like when you break down that rushing game and the attack, and where the Buffalo Bills did not stick with the run, this team will. And this team will just beat you and beat you
in
and
the
beat
submission.
you
Yeah.
and beat you. And they'll get 12 and 8 and 2 and 65.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Yes. They
Joe,
haven't.
talk to me.
They
Talk
haven't.
to me about where you are with the plan of attack for this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I don't think it changes. I think you're gonna go right back to the well every time. With that power run game, the inside zone, the inside run. It's probably our bread and butter play in the run game. And I pay attention to a lot of what Brian Baldinger puts out. He played, and he knows. It's the eye test. He sees it. He breaks down, play by play, frame by frame, all game, and um, and he put out a stat. I think the Eagles, um, that inside zone, that inside run is one of their main plays, and that's one of the um, weaker plays that the Chiefs aren't
Mm-hmm.
able to defend. They showed some plays from the season. They showed some plays from the Texans and the Bills playoff game where they had success with it. But yeah, they wound up going away from it. And the Eagles aren't going to do that. The Eagles are are going to line you up, and they're going to do the exact same thing, because we're in the Super Bowl, and we haven't had a team that's been able to stop it enough to where we started doing the passing game. So I think it's going to be another dose of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Barkley's going to beat the 1-on-1. Barkley's going to, he can make multiple people miss, as we've seen, like in the first rush last week against Washington. You know, Jalen checks to that play. They do the toss, and then Saquon does the rest. Now, I think the Chiefs are more sound um, defensively. They're better tacklers, but they still haven't gone against the best offensive line in football and the best running back in football. Um, and they're all playing with a chip on their shoulder. They want to prove to the world that they can win the Super Bowl by ground and pound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, listen, when you look at there's a Paul Hembekides put out a stat with Saquon Barkley is the 54th player in NFL history to score 20 touchdowns from scrimmage, both receiving and passing, including the playoffs. His average length of score is 32 and a half yards.
That's incredible. It's incredible.
Home run hitter.
Right? And when you think about some of those touchdowns are like, some of them are 2-yard runs, right? And then you also think about I can't remember. He's got like 10 or 11 plays that ended at the 1-yard line.
Yeah,
That could have also resulted in touchdowns.
Yeah.
Just on a completely different level.
yeah. It's incredible. It's just so fun to see because it's home run and then tush push, and then it's like good luck on either. They stack the box with our offensive line. Our offensive line moves bodies, so good luck stacking it. You've seen what happens because it's one cut from Saquon and he's gone. So you better hope that you're back there. Your safety really wants to get in the way, or you better hope that your safety don't get ran over because there's two options there, and it's usually the latter of getting ran over.
Most definitely.
It is going to be fun. It is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and they're playing like we don't right. We don't have the worry of the sod father and any other surface issues as far as we know. The Eagles are 5-0 this year when they play on artificial turf, and in those 5 games, they allow an NFL low 11 points.
Yeah,
any way you slice this matchup, I like it. I like. Rich, talk to me about the way that the Eagles wide receivers match up against the Kansas City DBs.
I mean, you got whatchamacallit, you got McDuffie back there.
He's good.
Yeah, he's good. Hasn't really lined up against a guy named AJ Brown, especially in the playoffs. If you look at, his stats, he's very good. He was good enough for them to be like, hey, L'Jarius Sneed, we'll see you later.
Right.
But he hasn't really been tested. He's not like how Quignon's been tested all year. And yeah, I'm going to put them both in the same breath because he rightfully deserves to be there.
Right.
It's going to be really tough. And then their number 2, I forget who their number 2 is, but
so you got Jalen Watson.
Oh, Watson, that's right. Watson can get beat, and that's why Slim is such a good play. If Slim's average is 98 yards against the Chiefs in the past 5 games that he's played against them. So
he's also going back home,
and
right?
I think Slim's going to have a nice game. He's going to have at least
well. Last time it was a big game in the Superdome. That championship game when he's playing at Alabama has a really big game. Last couple games against the Chiefs has had big games, either 90 or 100 plus yards.
Yeah, and then you got Goddard. Good luck to your nickel or one of your linebackers trying to sneak out on him because he's been.
Goddard is a sneaky star today.
Oh, I love him. I think he's going to go for 6 for 75 and a touchdown. I think he is going to be one of those guys who just gets it done. And as he's been just very quietly just getting it done throughout the playoffs, but he's been such a huge part of this pass game. And, Kellen Moore, he's out. So we're throwing we're throwing the whole playbook at him. We're going to leave Kellen Moore in New Orleans after this, not getting back on the plane. We'll go our separate ways. I think he's going to be drumming up a lot of stuff for these guys. You're going to have to get AJ open, and I think it's going to start with, a few quick slants. Let McDuffie know that he's there. You got to get physical with guys like that. Those corners that are good, they're finesse guys. You got to get physical. Make them want to tackle. Make them feel what it feels to tackle AJ Brown. It's not an easy job. Not many corners can do it, as we've seen all year where, Jalen's throwing a 4-yard pass. He just fakes the turn to the outside, goes right up the sideline for 22 yards because nobody wants to tackle that big man. It's going to be rough sledding. I really think it's going to be rough sledding for the Chiefs. I wish I could say that I was less confident, but we've seen this. We've seen this all year. We had to play, the Rams, which I think the Rams had a very good secondary, very good defense. Look what happened to them. We played Baltimore. Their defense was trash, but look what AJ Brown did to them. Just pick a game. Just go like this on the schedule and pick it and just see what our guys were able to do with the limited passing, right? Because we are 29th in the league in pass yards, but our guys still get it done.
I think if you do exactly what you just did, right, you go up and down the schedule and look at pick a game, and in whatever game that was, they did what they needed to do to win the game, which at the end of the day, that's the only stat that matters.
Yeah.
The W.
Yep.
Because if you keep stacking W's, you're going to be in a good spot. You're going to be in a position that they're in today to be able to win the Super Bowl. And like you look at like that Los Angeles game at LA, coming off 2 division games, and they go in there, and that was a game where like, oh, what's going to happen with Puka and Cooper Kupp? What's going to happen with what with their rushing attack, and you got Matthew Stafford, and they absolutely went in there and waxed them.
Yeah.
And that's the game that Saquon runs for 255 and has 270 plus yard rushes.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, ooh, next week they got to play another road game at Baltimore. And they go in there and they play a completely different style game and absolutely dominate. In both of those games are a lot they look a lot closer than the game actually was because of the late scores. And then you look at a couple weeks later when they play Pittsburgh, and they go out there and they throw the ball all over the yard. Hurts throws for 290 in that game.
Yeah.
And and they hold the ball for the last 10 minutes of the game
and don't even score.
And they don't score, right? But they go up and just like you said, go up and down this schedule. And this team did whatever they needed to do to find ways to win. And I'm going to say something we said last week. Since the Phillies stopped playing, this team has lost once.
Yeah.
Phillies stopped playing baseball a long time ago. They stopped playing long enough that they already took their shit down to spring training.
Yeah. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah. There were so many things in that game that happened where we lost the game, and we lost the game, but we still had a chance to win it at the end. You lose your quarterback, Devontae drops the ball, this and that and the other thing. CJ gets thrown out of the game, but you should have won the game. So I mean, this team is battle tested. This team can beat you so many different ways. If you go back to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs 2 years ago, I think they had a lot of the same people on defense, and we threw all over them then. I'm not sure. I think Trent McDuffie was the corner on that double where he beat double coverage for that touchdown. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure Trent McDuffie was the corner. So, I don't think they're the thing about the Eagles is they're not afraid of anybody. They're not gonna hold back, and they're not going to be timid and feel things out. They're going to just continue to play bully ball, and it doesn't matter who you are. That's their mantra. That's what this team's all about, and that's what they're going to continue to do.
Yeah, Rich. I mean, a couple of guys that we've talked about, right? The guys in the backfield, the young guys, right? Since Cooper DeJean has been inserted in a starting lineup, right? After that bye in week 4, 5, whatever, right? In this postseason, 0 touchdowns allowed, 2 interceptions, 3 forced fumbles, 3 forced incompletions, and a 44% passer rating.
This defense is not scared. This defense plays on a fucking another level with these young guys. These young guys bring a fucking spark to this defense that makes everybody play better. And they know that if they're hung out on an island, they can cover. That's the best part. It's the defense is able to do what they need to do because you look at their levels and they're all top tier. Let the defensive line just get home. Let Jalen Carter just eat. Let Milt Williams go out there and just be a beast today. Let's see what Nolan Carter's got.
Well,
that would be a hell of a player.
Yeah,
Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter.
Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter. Let's just combine them. Let's see what Nolan Smith's got today. But it's going to be they can do what they can do because look at the elite level of the linebackers. Right. Linebackers can do what they can do because of the elite level of the defensive backs and the safeties that they have. Like, it's an all-around team. Like, who are you going to target? Like, when you're saying, hey, the guy you need to target on defense is Darius Slay, that's your weak spot. That's fucking kind of iffy. I'm not really sold on that one yet. It's not
Yeah.
like there's a rookie unproven who's been getting beat like a drum out there. It hasn't happened. It
Right, there's
hasn't
no-
happened to this team. So Kansas City can be as confident as they want, but this is a buzzsaw that you do not want to see.
I couldn't agree with you more. Right. And Rich, to talk about DBs for a second, I got Chip just said, our buddy Chip just sent me a text with a screenshot zoomed in from the team picture from the Super Bowl. And it says, guess who got an A for the group project?
James Bradbury's there?
James Bradbury's in the team picture.
No way.
No way. That's hilarious.
With a giant shit-eating grin on his face, man.
It's like $13 million, and I'm gonna play in the Super Bowl again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got
You're not gonna
you.
be an Eagle next year. Yeah.
Got you. All right. So, in all in good spirits, Joe. This comment came in specifically for you. The guy at the bottom of the screen has a great mustache. No diddy.
Oh, Sean. He's something.
Oh
It's a great
god.
stash. It is a great stash.
Yeah, but
He's
so
a
Rich,
Chiefs
talk to me.
fan. He's
Is
a
Chiefs-
Chiefs fan.
Oh, well, that
I'm kidding.
sucks for him.
I'm kidding. He's not. I'm kidding.
About
I'm
to get
kidding.
real dark on him.
I'm kidding.
But so the
That's the only time
kid-
we want to see Bradbury.
the Kansas City offensive line, right? We know that early on in the season they were having a lot of protection issues.
Yeah.
They take Joe Tooney from left guard. They kick him out to left tackle. They have a little bit more success because he's a guy who's got a little bit more experience, but it leaves a guy in Mike Caliendo that is significantly less experienced. We talked about the stash, right? And we talked about you try to like stash him there in the hopes that like you put him in between Joe Tooney and Creed Humphrey, who are two really, really good offensive linemen, in the hopes that like you can get by, but they have not played a defensive line with the talent spread that they're going to see. And even if you do want to line Jalen Carter up there, you're still going to have to double. You're going to if you see Jalen Carter lined up there, you're going to have to double team him, which means your Nolan Smiths, your Milton Williams, your Brandon Grahams,
baby. Let's go.
are going to be able to eat. Those guys are going to be able to have opportunities to get one-on-ones, right? Trey Smith is another guy who's an elite guard. But I look at this defensive line, when you match them up with this offensive line, they're going to have opportunities to be able to get pressure. And if you look at the last Super Bowl that the Chiefs lost when they played the Bucks, the Bucks had him running.
Yeah.
And they had him running all game. I think that you're going to have an opportunity to do that. And Vic Fangio has laid out the blueprint in that they're not going to blitz. They're going to be able to take away and get pressure up front with the guys that they have up front.
Yeah.
And they're going to be able to keep guys in front of you. And they're going to have they're going to have an opportunity to not make plays.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to try to get the ball out quick. That's what Mahomes is going to do. They're going to work in Worthy on some gadget shit, but Coop's really good at sniffing that shit out. We have a very intelligent defense that has the fight of 10,000 men. Like, if you had to go to a fight and they got 100 and you can only bring 11, I'm bringing the Eagles defense. Like, and if I can, I'm going to bring the offensive line too, because nobody wants to fuck with them boys. But that's
right. And Rich, talk about those two groups, right? Because if you're winning games at this point, you're winning the games with the guys in the trenches. Talk about those two groups.
They're just the guys that are just going to wear you the fuck down. They're the guys on the schoolyard who are just going to relentlessly beat you up until you have nothing left, and then laugh about it while they're doing it because they know you can't do anything back. That's That's the scary part of both sides. You have dogs on both sides. That defense is
Dogs.
motor and relentless. That offensive line has drive and push and will pancake, flatten whoever the fuck is in front of them. Like, it's crazy when you see 9 guys stacked up and you see one single high safety and you see one DB. And
Yeah.
as soon as Jalen Hurts hands the ball off, he's throwing his hands up because he knows it's a touchdown, because you got your big boys on the outside throwing one block, blocking 7 guys, throwing one block, and then Saquon's gone.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see that nowadays in football, and you don't see it anywhere else besides the Eagles. Like, you're not getting this play from Baltimore with Derrick Henry behind him. No, you're not getting it. You're not getting it from Houston with Joe Mixon, or the Saints with Alvin Kamara. I'm naming just good running backs who,
Yeah.
my God, if they were – look at what fucking Saquon did on the Giants and how elite he was. And now look how even – could you imagine he'd be better? Could you be imagine like that he fucking took 3 steps up? Like, that's crazy what this offensive line can do. And
It's the perfect marriage, right? It's the perfect marriage of talent and really looking at the guy for being a product of himself and a product of his environment simultaneously, right? You take an elite guy and you pair him with an elite group, an elite supporting cast, and when everybody's goal is collective, this is what you get, right? And to go back, right, the Jalen Carter double team, he's been double teamed 279 times this season. And he still has been able to affect the game the way that he has, right? Yeah. And in comparison, compare him to a guy who's going to play today too, Chris Jones. Chris Jones has been double teamed 219 times. I mean, if that doesn't tell you anything about the respect that this guy has and his ability to be able to have an effect on the game, I don't know what is, man.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Carter is going to go off. I was playing Ollie yesterday in Madden, and I'm like, these birds. He's like, oh, I don't know, I'm going to be. All of a sudden, he picks Baltimore. I'm like, yeah, all right. Dude, I had 4 sacks, just straight bull rushing. One-on-one, straight bull rushing with Jalen Carter. I'm like, this is foreshadowing for tomorrow. And honestly, today, I think he has 2.5 sacks. I think it's you're going to see guys just go. And I don't think we've seen Jalen Carter just say, fuck it. And I think this is where Jalen Carter goes, fuck it. And is going to be ripping heads off. Get Mahomes on the run. And when Mahomes is on the run, hit him. It doesn't matter if he's going to the sideline because they like doing that stupid stop.
I got shot.
Fucking hit him. My advice, if the Eagles are watching this, just fucking hit him.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Cut the bullshit.
I hate that when he's running to the sideline and he acts like he's going out, but then he stops and then he tries to get another yard. It's like, just hit him. Who cares? Yeah. Just push him out of bounds.
He's a ballerina.
Dude, it's getting egregious. But I don't see this offensive line of the Chiefs being able to stop this defensive line. Milt Williams has been so fucking good. Even Morrow, Joba, yeah, he's been great. Oren Burks has been playing phenomenal. You still got Zach Ball in there. I mean, let's be real. BG's coming back. You don't think this guy's going to get some sacks today? You don't think he's going to get some
juice, man?
Like, this is revigorating this offense or this defense and this defensive line that hasn't been missing anything. And then we just get our spiritual leader back in Brandon Graham. Today is a holy day, and it's all Brandon Graham's day. That's what it is. It's all Brandon Graham's day.
You know, the signs are there, right? And that's the thing that I've been trying to keep going back to. And as we were talking about before, like tuning out all the noise and really when you X and O it. And Joe, you got a guy you mentioned before, the guy who's my barometer, who normally kind of keeps it like right down the middle, is Baldy. And the breakdowns have been, you know, really looking at that, really X and Oing the game and trying to look at it from both sides, right? And look at but when I look at this and I X and O it, man, it's hard to see an opportunity where if they protect the ball and they do what they do,
Mhm.
you know, they have a better roster, top to bottom. Right, the guy that you're going to have to cancel out is Mahomes, and that's going to be and you have the defensive weapons to be able to do that, and I think that's going to be important. I think it's going to be important early, and if you can do that early and really put them on skates, that's an opportunity for you to kind of step on their neck and look at where you can be successful by maximizing what you do well. So I don't know.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. I mean, all right. So you ready for this sequence that I found on? All right. So in 2005, the Eagles lose to the Patriots, and they lose by 3.
Mm.
In 2018, they win the rematch in Super Bowl 52, and they win by 8. Brian Dawkins gets elected to the Hall of Fame. Wentz finishes third in the MVP. In 2003, the Eagles lose to the Chiefs by 3 points. The Eagles have a rematch against the Chiefs today. Eric Allen gets elected into the Hall of Fame. Saquon Barkley finishes third.
I
What's
see where you're going with this.
It's a wonderful universe that we live in.
It is a wonderful universe that we live in.
I mean, can we talk about Eric Allen for a hot minute? Eric
Yeah.
Allen getting elected into the Hall of Fame. Very, very long overdue.
Long overdue.
And this was his second to last year on the before he got kind of set into the abyss of the alumni committee.
Yeah, lockdown. All he did was do his job. All he did was take away, the top receiver that they threw at him. And man, such a playmaker. You know, ball hawk, interceptions, defensive touchdowns. Just he was a stalwart of that gang green defense, which we all we all love and always loved over the years. That's why we're still dying to throw the colors, man. Love it, man. But yeah, it's long overdue for him. I mean, he's Eagles legend. I mean, what else can you say about the guy? Stand up guy, a hell of a player, and now he gets he gets the jacket, he gets to go to camp. So it's it's long overdue. One of my favorite players, one of a lot of people's favorite players on that team during the year. You know, he um, he's gonna be enshrined, and it's about damn time.
Well said. Well said.
I don't even know. I'm just combing through. I'm just combing through content and combing through stuff. I just came across something. Devontae, and it's kind of prophetic that I came across it after we just talked about it. But Devontae Smith's last 3 games against the Chiefs, when Spagnuolo is the defensive coordinator,
Torched him.
7 for 122, 7 for 100, 6 for 99.
Yep.
And he's your third option.
Your third threat.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Pick your poison.
It's going to be a beautiful day. It's going to be a beautiful day.
It really is. It
You're
really
gonna
is.
see the whole playbook. I think you're going to see the whole playbook today. Anyway, because, I mean, Kellen has nothing to lose.
No.
If you're, there's multiple ways to look at this with Kellen. He could be very, very vanilla, but he's not that kind of guy. And I think a lot, there's people draw the comparison between, oh well, Gannon was staying in Arizona anyway, but he was a weasel. He did a lot of behind the scenes shit that went down that the team didn't even know about. So, that's why we got those. They had to give us those draft picks. So, if I'm Kellen Moore, it's not official yet, but I'm saying, look what I did to the Kansas City defense, today.
Yeah.
You
Oh
know,
yeah.
hey, we might want to bump that financial number up a little bit that we had discussed in the past. So, um, it's a chance for him to have to showcase everything, and I
Yeah.
think you're going to see. I think you're going to see it all. Obviously, it's going to be a massive dose of Saquon, but like I said, this team has no fear because of the success that they had in the passing game in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. So, and I always go back to also if we had Saquon when we played them in 2022, we would have blown them out
Yeah, 1,000%.
because Miles Sanders and that whole running game in that game, whether it was the field or whatever, or Miles just not following his blocks or running like he was supposed to, the running game was completely invisible that game, and
Mhm.
it really hindered a balanced attack, and we were still there at the end and still had a chance to win the game. But
Yeah.
this team, I mean, they're primed, they're ready. Their defense this year is better than that year, even though they had 1,200 sacks that year. They had no sacks in the Super Bowl, so
Yeah.
it didn't matter. So they're more fundamentally sound. They're much better coached. They tackle and they're built, and I think they're ready for the moment. Even though they do have these young guys, I mean, all these young guys have done since they've been in is ball out, regular season, and in the playoffs. So they're all playing at an elite level.
Yeah. Listen, I think you saw them put a couple other things on tape, right, in that NFC Championship game, right? You saw the little jet sweeps that Dallas got, and I think the more that you can put on their plate to be able to prepare for, I think is the way to go. But let's talk predictions. Let's just
Oh yeah.
let's just do it, right? Like, Rich, you want to go first?
33-22. 33-22 or 34-22. I got them. I got them by 12. I like the Eagles by 12 today. I think march down, first drive, score a touchdown. Mahomes answers, but then it's just cruise control for the Birds. I think it mainly comes down on Saquon Barkley and Dallas Goedert. Jalen Hurts is going to get his rushing touchdown, but you're going to see a nice 135-yard, 2-touchdown game from Saquon. I got 70 yards for Devontae, 60-ish yards for Dallas, maybe 65 for AJ, but you're going to see Quinyon Mitchell and Jalen Carter come up big today. That's what I like. And Bond's going to show you why he should have won Defensive Player of the Year with, not one but 15 tackles. It's going to be one of those days, and I'm fucking here for it.
Joey, what do you got?
Unfortunately, I have it a little bit closer. I mean, we win by 7, 34-27 Philly. I think the defense is going to make enough plays to stop them in the end, but Nolan Smith, I've got him with a sack. I have Josh Sweat. I have him with a sack. And Cooper DeJean is going to come up with his first interception of the season.
Let's go.
And the defense is going to, we're going to win. Barkley's going to do his thing. And I think we're going to have a decent, evenly spread out passing attack. Dallas Goedert is going to come up with some huge first down catches. And I think Saquon Barkley is going to take a screen pass, to catch everybody off guard with him running for a long touchdown. Saquon's going to do a screen for over 50-yard touchdown.
Yes.
Joe, I think you got, for me, I look at Saquon, and Saquon has 200 all-purpose yards. I think that he's got at least one, maybe two. I think the ball gets spread around a little bit. Right? I think AJ and Devontae both get a score. And to go along the lines, I'm not sure who it is, but I'm feeling a pick six. I can't put my finger on who, but I'm feeling like a pick six late.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And it's one that like salts the game away, and really gives, like just puts the exclamation point on a day. Like I don't know who it is, but I'm just feeling it for whatever reason. But I think that this is an opportunity for this team to be able to just put their stamp and their exclamation point at the end of the season. And I think this is like a 31, like 17, 31, 20 Birds win.
I love it.
I love it. So listen, I don't know if anybody have any final thoughts.
I know if there's a pick six in this game, and we have more points than they do at the end of the game, I will be going streaking down the stick lane. That's right.
Videos or it didn't happen.
You heard it here first.
Picks or there's no proof.
Probably tomorrow. Oh, there will be. Probably tomorrow. All of my neighbors are going to have for sale signs up on their houses.
Looks like we're moving
Joe,
in.
that's their problem.
Yeah. It's not.
That just gives you an opportunity to make new friends.
I probably won't make it far because we have an ice skating rink outside. So I'll
Joe, don't
That's
hurt
all right, Joe. Get your
cans.
your hockey skates right in the driveway. A little old school.
There'll be a crater in my front yard with a human-shaped body, and that'll be from me.
Watch your cans, Joe. Watch your cans.
But listen, final thoughts from me. Shout out to all the people online that are putting out really, really great the Super Bowl hype videos that are coming from every angle. Have been fabulous. Have me feeling like I want to run through a brick wall.
Yes.
Just really creative, really, but really, really good. So shout out to that. I mean, it's too long of a list to list, but you got a lot of great people putting out a lot of great content. And then, did you guys see the billboard? The guy that put the billboard up in Kansas City?
Yes.
No, I didn't see that.
Yes. All right, Rich, I'm gonna share the screen and I'm gonna show you. So this was
made the mistake of putting the phone number up.
Well, but Joe, let's add this. Let's get this off here, and let's highlight this. All right, so this was done by a guy in Philadelphia. Right, he puts this out right outside Arrowhead. For Chiefs fans, it says, call for a pep rally in your pocket. Now, what people didn't realize is that when they call this number, Rich, it plays the Eagles fight song.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
It is like absolute genius troll move. It was fantastic. I don't know who did it. I don't care who did it.
Doing the Lord's work.
It's just awesome. It's awesome work for whoever's putting out that content. But it's just shout out to everybody who's putting out great stuff. And the way that people are acting right now, I need people to remember that, because the way that this city has come together and comes together around this team and the camaraderie, it really does make everything else that's going on go away.
Yeah.
And I need people to remember how this team can bring people together, and that doesn't just have to happen around the sports teams, that can happen like every day.
Beautiful.
I wish it would all go away, Don, but go Birds. Go
Birds. Go Birds. But it's go Birds. But it's go Birds all day long. It's go Birds.
Go
It's
Birds.
just go Birds.
Go
Birds
Birds
all day today.
Go Birds, and it should have been years ago, but Go Birds is replacing Good Morning, Good Afternoon, and Good Night.
And good night. Oh, good do. No, go Birds. Go Birds.
Well, gentlemen, on the way out,
Fuck the Chiefs. Fuck the Chiefs. That's all the fucks I got for today because it's Eagles Super Bowl, baby. Eagles, bring it home. Go Birds. Everybody, be safe. Have fun tonight. Don't drink and drive.
go Birds.
Go,
Go
Birds.
Birds.
Go Birds. Eagles!
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
E-A-G-L-E-S